This is a View from the Bridge, official podcast of the Belfast Giants for kingdomofthegiants.com. Today's Tuesday, the 14th of January 2025. This is show number 18 of the run, show number 494 overall, for those that are counting. My name is Patrick Smith. I'm joined by the Belfast Giants statistician, David McJemsey, and a local hockey grit, which is Simon Kitchen. Over the next hour or more, we'll be bringing you through all the news and views of the Belfast Giants from the last week. We're live or on demand on YouTube, X, Facebook, and you can listen to us from all the really good podcast providers. If you're watching live on any of the platforms, get involved with comments in the chat box. We're always watching, and you may see your comment on screen. The 25th celebration weekend for the Belfast Giants was complemented by two victories, one of which being a shutout for Jackson Whistle, and the Nottingham Panthers were duly dispatched, with Adam Keefe's side remaining in the hunt for the Elite League title. We also had the announcement of, an old face, the return of a familiar face. David Goodwin's back for his fourth spell of the club, and he'll be along to catch up later in the show. We'll look back at the Player of the Month for December nominees and a few other bits and pieces, and what will no doubt be another great show. Mr. McJemsey, how are you doing?
Not bad, mate. Never a bad weekend to beat the Panthers twice. Yeah. So never forget. Happy man.
And Mr. Kitchen, keeping well. You've gone for the Toronto Maple Leafs. I've gone for the Red Wings. Davy's kept loyal with his Belfast Giants. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. All good. As Davy said, two big wins over the Panthers this weekend, and looking forward to having a chat about it, and then obviously having a chat with Goody as well, which is great to be back. So that caused a bit of a talking point in the end of the first period on Saturday night.
No doubt. And we're looking forward to having him back on. Right, well, let's get cracking, boys. Two games against the Nottingham Panthers over the course of the weekend, and two victories for your Belfast Giants. 2-0 for the Giants over the Panthers, and on Friday night, and then 4-2 over the Panthers on Saturday. Let's get cracking into Friday's game. Let's hear from George Owada and Danny Stewart.
Okay, George, great game of hockey tonight. Lots of intensity in the game. Did Jackson steal that one for you?
He played very well. He was obviously our best player throughout the whole game. You know, he made the saves when we were breaking down, giving up the odd man rushes. But towards the end, I think guys were battling. Obviously, we get the puck out a few times, and we were not lucky to get that empty netter. But it was a nice blanket, a nice secure thing to have after that. Their pressure for a good 40-45 minutes there down the stretch.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel for the guys they didn't get something, but that's the tough thing about sport. But I thought first period, I don't know whether the ice was sticky or what, but we sure fumbled a lot of pucks, and they got a lot of momentum from that. And credit to them, they're a good hockey team, and they put us under some pressure. Tough giving that one up, in the last shift there of the first period. But our guys reset in the break and came out in the second with a lot more urgency, a lot more physicality. Played really good game of hockey, and then third period again, really good. I thought we created enough. Really, I thought Whistle was spectacular tonight. As was Jason, especially in the first. Probably kept that scoreline at 1-0, and great game of hockey. I think playoff style game of hockey, and unfortunately we just couldn't find the back of the net.
The Giants' goals came from Jeff Baum with only 40 seconds left in the first period, and then an empty netter in the last minute from JJ Pickenich. Jackson Whistle was your goalkeeper with the shutout. Davey, the Giants got that goal, and I think they came out quick, and I think they played really well in that first period. They got that goal from Jeff Baum, and then, and I agree with what was said with both George Owada and Danny Stewart, they had to sustain quite a lot of pressure from the Nottingham Panthers.
Yeah, big pushback from Panthers in the second period. I think, I'm not sure whether it was George Owada there or Danny Stewart said about the Belfast Giants maybe could have been in a lot stronger position. We've had this a few times in the last number of weeks where maybe the first period dominance that we've had in terms of possession, in terms of shots, etc., just hasn't seen us going into a bigger lead, and slender enough lead, 1-0 going into the second period. Big pushback from them. Good goaltender from Jackson. Good, a lot of block shots as well. Boys buying into the defensive side of the game, and then third period was pretty samey. There wasn't very many good chances either way. really, really massive grade A chances, a handful either way for both teams, and both goaltenders good. Jackson really strong, keeping the shutout alive, and good for him to shut the Panthers out. He had a little dalliance with them a number of years ago, didn't he? And good to shut his old team out. And on the weekend of the 25th anniversary, I guess his dad being being the very first coach, and him able to shut the Panthers out on the 25th anniversary. I'm sure Dave probably didn't imagine that happening 25 years ago, but it's a nice little symmetry from days gone by. And it's always nice when you have those anniversary weekends and you have big crowds in. You have a weight of expectation on you as well, and you want to do well for those big crowds, and you want to do well for the history books. And you came away with a 2-0 lead. Everyone went home happy.
Apart from them, that's what I'm saying. Everybody went happy. They sent them home unhappy, yeah. But or on the Dundee unhappy. Says the narrative there, Davey sort of sets it out, is the fact we had the 25th celebration this weekend. We had the East End was out. We had a full bowl. We have we've bespoke uniforms. We have silver anniversary helmets. Everything was looking good, but it was a fight, and that first game was a fight.
Yeah, it was a real battle. I mean, nobody expected anything else, but the Panthers have been playing decent this year, and obviously the last couple of weekends have come off the back of it. I think it's 2 losses against Sheffield and Cardiff. So then like Sheffield and Cardiff are no pushovers, but we knew it was going to be a battle. We knew it was going to be a tough game. They beat us twice this year. Arguably, I think Davey's been at both those games. Arguably, we probably played better in both games in Nottingham this season so far. But for that Friday night game to come out and get the goal right at the end of the first period was a big goal. Bomber, basically getting down the end of it. Lovely pass out from the wall, and then Laker putting it on a plate for Jeff Baum, and he scored a couple of goals now in the last few weeks. Defense are starting to chip in with more points, but I just thought we managed the game really well. The Panthers had big opportunity. Jackson, probably his best game of the season. I know he's had wins this year already, but that's arguably his best game of the season. And it's not often Jackson plays back-to-back, but the way he played on Friday night, he deserved to get the chance again on Saturday. So it was good to see him getting back-to-back starts. And again, he had another strong performance on Saturday night. But as I say, the overall 25th anniversary, the team behind the scenes, obviously the ops team and Michael Barr and everybody putting everything together, and obviously we tried to keep the silver helmets a secret right up until the last minute, which was great, and then they didn't get out, and the follow up from that the next night when the Nottingham fans all came in with tinfoil hats on. Very, very funny. That's the way it should be, like a wee bit of banter, and the silver helmets were very, very popular. There was a lot of positive comments about them, and I thought the whole weekend went off very, very well. 14,000 fans in over the 2 nights. Like, we're getting stronger and stronger off the ice. We're getting stronger and stronger on the ice, and obviously that was added to with Goody coming in on Saturday morning as well.
Was that taken from, because obviously the silver anniversary, etc., but we saw Notre Dame come into the SSE Arena a couple of months ago wearing gold helmets. Was it on the back of that as a bit of an idea, or
no? We had the helmets that have been sitting at Taft's house for over 2 months, so they were ordered well in advance of the games happening. I can't remember exactly when they came in, but they've been sitting at Taft's house, and he got the numbers and all onto them, and the visors and everything onto him. So they've been sitting there for at least 2 months. So, what do you guys think of them?
I thought it was excellent. I thought they looked really, really well. I like I think the shirts look well, and I thought the helmets topped it all off. And it's nice to have a little bespoke thing like that, a little bit of a recognition of the weekend as a whole, and to have the helmets top. I thought they look great. Davey?
Something you'll probably never be able to own, but for someone that loves a little bit of memorabilia, to have that sitting on your mantelpiece, 25th anniversary silver helmet, beautiful. I would say you make £1 million, says, if you want to get rid of those buckets.
Watch this space. That's all we're saying.
Right. Well, we'll sort of feed this now into the second game. The Belfast Giants took on the Nottingham Panthers once again the following night with a 4-2 victory over the Panthers at the SSE on Saturday. Let's hear from the coaches.
Yeah, I thought tonight was a complete game from our guys. Exactly what we asked for. Obviously happy with the result last night. Wasn't happy with the way we got it, I suppose, or the amount of opportunity we gave Nottingham last night. I thought the guys were definitely answered the bell in that category tonight. I thought we didn't give Nottingham very much at all. Obviously, their power plays they get on the board there, but I thought our guys were real good the whole game. And then obviously, finally get rewarded there with the Kieran Long breakaway there to break away. And I thought from that point on, I thought we did all the right things to manage that game. And 6-on-5, obviously, the guys were battling there in the corner, and Collins gets rewarded there with a 200-footer.
Tonight, we weren't good enough. Credit to Belfast. They were the better team. It was the right result. We weren't physical enough. Not even close, and turn the puck over way too much. I think that's a team who's a good offensive zone team, and if you're not going to be physical and you're not winning puck races, puck battles, face-offs, we got killed all night, so you lose a lot of possession there. You're chasing the game. I think I want to say we were 30 to 35% in the circle, and you're chasing, you're playing more time, playing defense, and then when you're turning pucks over on top of that, when you do get the puck, you're wasting so much energy playing defense that you just can't keep up. So Belfast outplayed it tonight, plain and simple.
Goals for the Nottingham Panthers came from Contos and Fossier. Goals for the Belfast Giants came from Pio Moran, Bobo Carpenter, man of the match performance from Kieran Long, and the empty netter from Scott Conway, who saluted the tinfoil hat wearing Nottingham Panthers when he did so. Jackson Whistle with another win in nets says, I think the difference in this game was the third period and a solid third period performance from the Belfast Giants.
To be honest, I think you've got a point, but I thought the 3 periods, I thought we played very, very well. Again, we're getting important goals and important moments. Over the weekend, we didn't concede a 5-on-5 goal. They got 2 power play goals on the Saturday evening. And in fairness, their power play was pretty decent. I think they got 2 for 3 on Saturday night. But 5-on-5, we were the better team. Over the weekend, we didn't concede the goal. Just touching on what Danny said there, in the circle, we were fantastic. We basically, when you're winning the battles are 65 to 70% of the time, it makes the game an awful lot easier getting the puck off the circle, and whether you're setting up a player, whether you're breaking out of your own zone, it's an important part of the game. And obviously again, with Pio got a really important goal there. What a pass through the seam from Kyle Osterberg, and getting on the board and getting that first goal was important. And then they come back at it and they take a 2-1 lead into the end of the period, and you knew we were going to come back. We just had that sort of attitude about us at the weekend. We knew we were going to get back into the game again. And Bobo, tying things up. Longer hit the crossbar. But over the weekend, over the Saturday especially, I just thought we managed the game very, very well. If you show me a better pass this season than Josh Roach's right the whole way down Main Street to Kieran Long for his goal, I'll hold my hands up. Absolutely outstanding. Lovely play behind the net by Bo Hansen to get the puck to Roachy. Heads up and the little shout down the lane from Kieran Long, who sniped in behind the defence for Nottingham, and then a great finish from Longer. So great pass, absolutely superb. But really, again, getting those 4 points in those 2 big games was absolutely vital this weekend, and that's the target we had, and that's what we come out with.
And a nice little lift of the skate and fake from Kieran Long to score that winner. Davey, Sis mentioned it there. Danny Stewart mentioned it in his interview, and I've just brought it up on the screen there, the face-off comparison. The Belfast Giants were dominant in the circle.
Have been for a couple of weekends now. Laker and Collins have been really exceptional. I think they've about 600 face-offs each so far this season. Simon's took a lot of the things that I've noted down to say, and he's absolutely right. Even strength, 6-0 across the weekend. Even strength says, that's 4 games against the Panthers. They've scored 3 even strength goals in all those games. We match up very well against them. Obviously 5-on-5, and all those little disciplines that sometimes go against you, and you take those penalties. You just can't take against the Panthers. They've got a good special teams there, so that'll be one we'll be focusing in on. Face-offs have been brilliant. we say it often here, possession's 9/10 of law. If you've got the puck, and we are, as Danny Stewart said, they're a very good ozone team, and we grind them down. I think at times we got a few massive ozone shifts in there. They couldn't get changed. There was a period of play, I can't remember if it was the second or third period, where it must have been 8 or 9 minutes without a whistle. And we just kept them in their zone time and time again. Just didn't let them out, and we just wore them down. And again, Simon took a, thunder there and said Bo Hansen's play to open up the space and time for Roche to look up and pick that pass. Now he still has to make it. Kieran Long has to take it, and Kieran Long has to put it away. But just the three of them together, it's I know it goes down as Longer's goal, but they're Roche 3 points tonight plus 4. Really, really strong game from the back end. Him and Bo Hansen playing really, really well together. But as I said at the very top of the show, Paddy, it doesn't matter how you get them done against the Panthers as long as you get them done. This is the fixtures that I want to win more than any other fixtures. Hate the Panthers, always will. And hi, Omar. Sorry, mate, but 4 points in the bank and on the next weekend.
There's that stretch pass there. Absolutely beautiful for those watching online.
But I don't know whether it shows the play by Bo Hansen to roll back and just pop it in there.
I'll roll back a bit here and you'll see it. But yeah, it's one of those that the Giants were, again, sustained pressure from the Nottingham Panthers, but able to find that space.
Just rolls back out, just gives all the time and space to Roche, who's able to pick that 150 feet pass.
Yeah. A great finish from Longer. It's one of those weekends, says, when you come up against the Nottingham Panthers, and the Panthers are they've started. We said this last week, and we said it with Omar when he was on. They were starting to get into a bit of a run. They were starting to win a lot of games and start bringing themselves up into that top 4. They were coming into Belfast hoping to stamp a bit of authority and put themselves right into the title race. And the Giants likewise wanted to consolidate their position in second with enough games, and we'll come to the league table later in the show, but with enough games on the Cardiff Devils. I don't think the Panthers played badly, but the Giants were well deserving in their points.
Yeah, I agree. Again, that top line of the Panthers, I'm going to be honest, I think it's probably one of the best in the league. They tick every box, and they've scored a lot of points this year. I was speaking to Thorts about it the other day, and Sam Herr is one of the best players in the league. Every team would have wanted to get hold of Sam Herr this year, and obviously Fossier is playing very well, and he got a goal there on Saturday night, and he's a good player, and that top line is a very, very good line. We rolled the 4 lines as much as we could the other night, and then obviously when it gets down to the nitty gritty, and Adams shortens his bench, and Kieran Long, it got a few extra minutes than what he normally would get, and coming up big with that massive goal, and you have guys out there who you just know you can depend on, and obviously Cons, we know how skilled he is, and his compete level, and obviously coming out that corner and throwing that puck 190 feet to slot back into an empty net, and then obviously the little tap of the helmet to the away fans was absolutely superb. But listen, I've said this for a long time. Everybody keeps talking about Cardiff being a good team and Sheffield being a good team and all these. We've got a good team. We've got a really good team. Make no mistake about it. And there's still a long way to go in this league. We're in a really good spot. We've been through a lot of adversity and injuries so far this season, and looking forward to seeing what we have to offer down the line.
Like says better than anybody. Hockey players have long memories, and we went into Nottingham twice this season. We lost the 5-1 when we were really short bench and under pressure. Then we went and lost that 3-2 overtime game with the terrible call on PO just coming up there, and obviously going into overtime then 4-on-3 instead of 3-on-3, and we've ended up losing it. We're losing a shootout, or we're losing? No, we lost it in overtime. That was I think that was the day that we came in on the flight was delayed, and the boys
it was like 11. It's like 11 o'clock by the time we came.
That's right. It was off the bus. 45 minutes you're on the ice, and that was so under pressure. Both those games, lost them both in Nottingham, took a point. So in the showdown so far, you win your home games and you get what you can away. We should have had more in those 2 away games. The first one, obviously, I think out of their 5 goals, 4 of them are special teams power play goals, 4-on-3 and 2 5-on-4s or 3 5-on-4s. So we've still last game of the season. We've got to go to Nottingham. I think they come here on the last weekend of the season as well. Isn't it home and home? Play them here and then play them there. which could be pivotal in the season. But just in closing, like, I know a fella that had the Giants -1.5 both nights, so he was delighted to see Scott Conway spinning 200 feet into the empty net. He was hoping that Danny would have pulled the goalie a wee bit earlier, but it worked out all right for him.
Who's that? No names. The highlights.
There's no case.
4 points for the Belfast Giants from the weekend, and the highlights from those games, of course, are from Belfast Giants TV. Just one more thing. This game's a very skillful game, and there's a lot of dedication of the players in this game to try to do what they have to do for the team. And sometimes when you have to change on the fly, you have to change on the fly. Talk us through this, Simon.
Yeah, these things happen. That's, you just basically missed the top end. You're going to have to show it again. But, Boudreau comes in with speed and misses the hit and ends up that hit. I mean, you talk about changing on the fly. Watch the guy coming over the bench. There you go. Yep. Thanks very much. Once he steps into the action. But Taft just grabs him by the helmet. Uncomfortable. But, luckily he wasn't hurt.
An absolute belter. Did enjoy that. Right, boys. Let's get around to welcoming our first. Get rid of that. We get rid of our first our guest of the evening. And what else can I say? But he's back. Let's move it on to the signing. Like I said, David Goodwin arrives, 27-year-old American centerman that we played in pre-season. He's also a former teammate of Curtis Hamilton, which we'll hear about because I had a chat. He arrived in on Monday and I had a chance to chat with him. The Belfast Giants are ringing the changes after a disappointing couple of weeks. Part of that is the introduction of a brand new centre. That is David Goodwin, who joins me on the line now. How are you doing, mate?
I'm doing well. Happy to be here.
Names on Adam Keefe's roster. I say a new name. It's a returning name, and that is the 29-year-old centre from St. Louis, David Goodwin, who spent a bit of time in Krakow last season, trying to get some ice time, but is returning to the Belfast Giants, and he chatted with Joel earlier today.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome back a familiar face to Giants fans, making his return to Belfast after the season was curtailed early due to the pandemic. Long overdue. Welcome back to Belfast, David Goodwin. It's good to see you, my man. How are you?
I'm doing great, Joel. Really, really great to be back. Pumped for the season.
We did invite David Goodwin, who was announced today. We did invite him to join us on the show. He came back to us. Unfortunately, he's, in his own words, he's undertaken some trains, planes, and automobiles. He did take a moment on a very noisy Spanish train to send us this.
Hey Giants fans, David Goodwin here. I'm on my way back to Belfast from Spain right now. Unfortunately, I'm not able to join the podcast tonight, but I will be joining you guys soon. I will be looking forward to seeing you guys this weekend at the SSC.
If you're listening to that, or just like on an audio-only podcast, trust me, if you listen very carefully, David Goodwin is there. He's on a noisy Spanish train. I think he's on his way to Barcelona and to fly in. One person, I'll add this in, one person who was very happy at this announcement is an old friend of ours, and Davy McGowan.
Somebody else come back.
Hey.
He was our captain last year. Hey.
Goody.
Goody's back.
Fantastic! It goes to show like how much it means to these kids. So that's really good. Davy McGowan, big thanks to Marcin for setting that.
Hey Giants fans, David Goodwin here. I'm happy to announce that I'll be joining the team for the rest of this season. Hopefully we can make this 25th anniversary season a special one. See you soon.
And we're delighted to welcome back onto A View from the Bridge the now 32-year-old centre out of St. Louis, Missouri. Please welcome David Goodwin. Welcome back, mate.
Yeah, thank you guys. Pumped to be here. Patty, that was quite the intro. Thank you.
Mr. Bichims, he's the one to thank for that, mate.
Davey, thank you. That was quite the trip down memory lane there.
Take us back right to the start. The decision to come to the Belfast Giants. Did you think that we're talking 6 years now, more or less? Well, we've got to 6 years, and here you are again.
Yeah, I hate to critique whoever made that intro, but I actually was not on Mora when they came to play Belfast in the exhibition.
Ah.
So I was not part of that, but
that is me going straight to Elite Prospects and going, oh yeah, we played them. Don't remember him, but let's say we remember him.
No, no, I still remember getting the message from Adam Keefe in November of 2019, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come to Belfast?" And I truly, like, as much as I hate admitting it, I had to look it up on a map, and now I can't leave this place. I love it. I love it to death. It really feels like home, and yeah, so it's crazy how things have developed over the last 6 years.
Well, as one East Belfast man, now I'll count you as another welcome home. It's lovely to have you back.
Yeah.
What on that little video that the boys have done there, what did it feel like? I know that probably wasn't the first time, but just walking back through those locker room doors again, getting that smell, having a look around, was it great?
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, just everything the Giants do is so first class. So to be a part of it again, walking through those doors, it was just fantastic. And they got new carpet this year, which is incredible. So when we're foam rolling in the morning, we don't get all this stuff on our back, which is nice.
It is, but it is the greatest job in the world, isn't it?
It truly, truly is. I skated this morning and I asked Wiss after the skate. I was like, "Hey, you want to go for lunch?" He's like, "I don't know if I." I was like, "Dude, like, this is the best part about playing a hockey player is like spending time with each other, going for lunch." Like, and he's like, "All right." So we did go for lunch, but I feel so fortunate to have this job.
Goody, obviously, coming back into Belfast on Saturday night, and we tried to keep it as quiet as possible. We did the little video before the game, and then obviously you put it on the big screen, and not certainly wasn't unexpected the cheer you got from the crowd. The most successful captain we've ever had, and coming back in again for another go. Even though you retired and got the glass, I think it was a glass or a vase at the end of last season. You might have to handle it back now.
Give it back.
Bring it back.
Do I have to return those?
Robert might be looking for it. Yeah.
All right, I'll stay clear of him then.
You've obviously, you've come in a really good spot. You watched the game on Saturday night against the Panthers. A couple of the faces, and obviously had a lot of success with Cons and JJ a couple of years ago. You must be looking forward to getting a chance to get back in the lineup. Obviously, a lot of big games coming up down this stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I really view it as such a privilege to be back and to put on the sweater again. For now, just kind of taking it one day at a time. Tomorrow will be our first kind of team skate, but if I get the opportunity to at some point to play with Scott and Pick, I would love that. And but at the end of the day, I feel like I can add a lot of value on and off the ice, and I'm grateful to Steve and Adam for also believing that in me as well.
What do you think you bring to the locker room right now, David?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I bring a good bit of experience. Like especially in the dog days of January and February. I think just having a calming voice, a calming presence. Obviously, one that's going to support Mark Cooper and in the direction that he's steering the ship. And yeah, like I like to think that my experience is going to be helpful down the stretch.
Do you think the game's? I don't mean like since you last played. I mean like since you came into Belfast. Do you think the game has changed, or do you think you've changed as a player?
I would say, I mean, everyone says this, but I would agree. I think the league has gotten a lot better since I was, playing in 2019 with the Giants. So I would say the league's gotten deeper. I would say, and yeah, of course, like, my game's changed. As you get older, I feel like I'm more patient out there. I feel like I'm a little bit more poised with the puck and just have a little bit more confidence. I can, read the game a little bit better. I think that's natural for any hockey player as he gets older. And then I can't remember the last part, but yeah. So no,
no. So you more or less covered it. Like, has the game changed? Have you changed it? Did you see anything out there at the weekend that you think, actually, I know what I can bring in here?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, what I pride myself on, certainly the last 4 or 5 years, has been making plays and winning battles. Like that's what I like to do. I think that's what I'm really good at. I'm not some guy who's going to take 51 timers and score a bunch of sexy highlight reel goals, but I think I can make plays and I think I can win battles. And from watching the game, I was only there Saturday, so from watching the game on Saturday, I could kind of visualize myself being out there in that environment, and I think I can do that still really well.
A couple of the SOSs that you have answered, Goody, over the last number of years has came when the team has been in maybe a more precarious position than perhaps it is now. You talk about going into the dog days, like it's hard work has got us to, in striking distance in the league. We're in a good place in the cup, playoffs down the line still to come. Slightly different axis that you'll be looking at this season. We're in a good position rather than coming in as a rescue act.
Yeah, Davey, I think that's a great point. Especially compared to last season, when I came in, things were not going well. The directive from Kiefer was, hey, we gotta get this back together. We gotta, get the ship going the right direction. And thankfully we were able to in the end against Sheffield, we were really close to winning another trophy last season. But this year it's completely different. The guys have the team in a fantastic spot in the standings. Good position in the Challenge Cup. I'm coming in to like I said, to add value where I can and to support what already is going on here in a really good way this season.
Has the bitter sting of tears, if you like, that loss to Sheffield, with it as it was then being your last game as a pro, thankfully you've came back. Does that still give a little bit of fire in the belly that you need to, not you don't personally need to right that wrong, but just the inner beast wants to right that wrong?
Yeah, I would agree. I really think we were inches, from winning another trophy last year. Like a 5-minute penalty, a couple close calls. Like it could have gone either way. So certainly, like as I'm kind of imagining coming back, that was part of it. I was like, dang, like that kind of leaves a little bit of a sting in my mouth, and I would love to not finish my career on a loss to Sheffield in a final game.
Goody, I was at the obviously at the game on Saturday night, and there was a kid come up to me after the game, and he said, I'm so happy David Goodwin's back. He's my favorite player. Can you go and get him? You were obviously gone because it was a long night for you. You arrived on Saturday morning. You went straight to the locker room and the gym, which doesn't surprise me about you at all. And he was absolutely delighted in having you back. He said to me, he says, can you ask him a question? And I said, yeah, if you want, no problem. He says, can you ask him who's the best player he's ever played with? And I says, I will. So who's the best player you've ever played with?
Like on the same team, Kitchie?
On the same team. Any team you played for, who's the best you've ever played with?
I played in juniors with Jake Gensel. He sat right next to me actually in the locker room. So, I think he's a 4-time NHL All-Star. Mm-hmm. So I would put him probably at the top of that list.
I'll pass that on to him on Saturday night or when we get to the game. Listen, Sheffield's coming up Saturday night. Your last game was against Sheffield. Is your next one going to be against Sheffield?
Is my what?
Is your next one going to be against Sheffield?
Oh, Kitchie, that's an Adam Keefe question, but if it's up to me, all I can say to that is, I feel great. Like I feel like I'm in good shape. Obviously, like need to keep, getting touches on the ice, but was out there today and went for a rip and it felt good. So we'll see how tomorrow goes and just kind of do it one day at a time. But if you're asking me, I will be there on Saturday on Saturday.
It's good to see you, mate. It's good to see you back. It's good to have you on a View from the Bridge when we've had a 4-point weekend, which is quite unusual, really. we normally have you on when there's like 0 points, and we sort of want answers. But Mark Cooper's taking that now, and he's doing very well with that. I think actually one weekend we did go with no point weekend. We had Coops on. We got a 4-point weekend, and he went to Davy. He says, "Get me on this week." It's one of those, but it's good to see you back.
Yeah, I think it's a great tradition to bring the captain on when things are going poorly. At the end of the day, he's got to be the one that answers the bell. So I'm all for it.
Well, listen, hope you settle in well. We hope to see you in if not in the next game, but in the games to come. And welcome back.
Yep, great. Thank you, guys.
Cheers, good to see you.
Save the date.
Love that.
8th of June 2025, the Adam Keefe testimonial. Maybe David Goodwin will be part of that as well. No doubt we're looking forward to more information on that as it comes. Quickly about David Goodwin, gents, before we go on to talk about the Player of the Month nominations. But one of those, it's the fact that you said it says we're in actually a really good position. Sorry, no, it was you said it, David. We're in a really good position. It wasn't an SOS call. This is just the team being strengthened with a player. I'll start with you, says, but with a player who has the ability and the knowledge on how to win things.
Yeah, look, I mean, he's our most successful captain. He's had a lot of success here. He loves the place. He knows Adam. He knows what Adam expects. He knows what way to basically, to win, and that's a big add to any lineup. When we knew he was having second thoughts about the retirement, it was a no-brainer to go after him. Pity we couldn't get him in earlier a few weeks ago, but at the end of the day, it's we're healthy now, and obviously Joe Cassetti's the only one missing out, and he's back skating, which is great. So we're touch wood, we're in a really good spot right now. We're Goody's just going to be an addition to the lineup with as he says, he brings the experience to the locker room. There's a few of these guys have never won before, and it does have, when you have that character in the locker room, with people who know what it takes to just basically go that extra mile and extra inch even, then good David Goodwin's definitely a really good role model for that. So and plus he's a top lad as well, so I mean, I spoke to him when it was all done. I got the call last I think it was last Monday, as Steve said to me, about need to get him sorted flights and accommodation and car, and Volvo stepped up, thanks to Sidney Penton and Volvo to basically stepped up with another car for him this season. So Goody's driving about in his new Volvo already. On Dream Apartments and Love Belfast sorted out the apartment. So look, it's really good to basically be able to get these, when you have these type of partners and we use them regularly, it makes my job an awful lot easier. So flight and all was booked in for Friday night, flew in Saturday morning, went straight onto the ice, straight into the gym, and then had a bit of a lunch and came to the game. So great to have him back. And let's see. I mean, you know what? When it was talking about him coming back, the first thing I did was looked up at what position he is in all-time points. He's sitting 7th all-time, thanks to Davy's stats, obviously. So he's got a chance to climb up maybe one or two other positions in that for all-time points, because one of the most astonishing stats on that, Davy, I don't know if you've got them in front of you, for the all-time David Goodwin. He's only had 30 minutes in penalties for the Belfast Giants.
Is three visits? 15?
No, 30 minutes in penalties. That's 15.
I mean, across his 3 stints. Is it across his 3 stints with the Belfast Giants coming into his 4? So 30 minutes in penalties. That's
unbelievable. That shocked me, and I didn't know if Davy had his stats wrong, which
any of those majors
very often.
Any of those major penalties?
See, I thought he did have a major at one point.
I could tell you, but just need to get it up on the computer. Obviously, I could tell you every penalty he's taken, but it'll be right.
Yeah. So great to have him back for sure. Absolutely.
The difference is, Davy, as well at this time, is the fact that we normally in this period of time in the league, we see a lot of movements being made, because we're coming to a point where no more trades can be made and no more moves can be made, no more players can be picked up. So you often see a lot of things. And you see players coming in here, unknown quantities. David Goodwin is not an unknown quantity.
No, and Simon put it best there when he talks about coming in with the winning mentality. He's won before. He's a serial winner. And there's guys in our locker room that says, as rightly said, haven't got across the line. I think back to the halcyon days of Man United when they were crushing teams off the pitch. Newcastle. It's a long time ago, but the analogy of like Newcastle were so well set, crumbled. It was a different time, but Liverpool slipped up, because they didn't have at that time players that had got across the line. They have now. Chelsea, when they started winning, took a few seasons to they started winning.
Yeah.
It takes big personalities and guys that have done it before sometimes to come in the locker room and just even change tiny little details. Even there, David talking about today, saying, come on, this is the greatest job in the world. Let's go for lunch. Let's go for lunch. Just little things. Just bringing a different view, a bit of freshness into the locker room in the new year. And because it's already, I'm sure for a lot of guys, it's been a long season. It's dark and cold in Belfast from October. And, we're going through that injury period. Guys are getting fit now. It's not long to the spring. And this is we're now already into the business end of the season. It starts now.
100%.
As we talked about it last week,
100%.
we have put ourselves in a beautiful position. And now you've got to execute every single night from now to April if you want to be successful. And what David brings is a blueprint that he's done it before. Let's follow this. Obviously ties in well with Adam. Adam keeps going back to him, trusts him, wants him involved on and off the ice. Goody said himself there about Adam obviously wants things off the ice as well as what he can do on the ice. Goody believes he can contribute on the ice. Adam believes he can contribute off the ice. Let's hope it goes well.
We are definitely into sort of, you say, the business end of season. Look, we've just had a double header against Nottingham, who are on a bit of a push. We got Sheffield coming up on Saturday. We've got Manchester, okay, Manchester and Guildford. We have Coventry and Cardiff in the weekend after that. The games are coming thick and fast, and they're coming at high quality.
Even within that, so we've got, I think it's Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. We go 5 games in 8 days.
Yeah.
And then I think it goes Saturday, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday again. You've got a Challenge Cup semi-final in there. You've got, different games to be that 5 game. I think Sis has already said 26th of March. Maybe it's been penned in for now. There's a lot of games. We're really only at 50% away in the league, and we've only got 3 months left to fit the other 50% in. It's going to be mad busy. That's the price of success. We've got a nice deep roster there. If it can all stay fit. And get firing, and a little bit of competitive juice coming in there from David Goodwin and other boys that are having to now fight for ice time. It can only be a good thing.
That's a really good point, Davey. That's one thing that Goody does bring to the locker room and on the ice in practice. He battles. There's some guys. I don't want to say that it's in every team. It happens in every team. Some guys just go, I'm not going to give 100% in practice here this morning. Not feeling it. That's not David Goodwin. It's definitely not Scott Conway. It's not JJ Pickenich. It's all these guys that, just give 100% every single time they get on the ice. Yes, sometimes it doesn't go their way. Absolutely understand that. But Goody's going to raise the bar here again. Hockey players want to play games. They don't want to practice every day. They want to play games. If you want to play games, you've got to be on it. And with having guys like David Goodwin in the roster back in the lineup again, it's going to mean somebody else is going to have to miss out if Goody comes back in. And if Goody comes in and he's not performing, I'm telling you now, Adam will leave him out and bring somebody else back in, because you've got those healthy scratches at your beck and call when you need them. This is what it's all about. And obviously, when you're playing, Jackson's obviously played the last 2 games. He's a British goaltender. So you have that extra import slot to slot in as a forward or a defenseman. Osterberg played on Saturday. And then who was played on Friday? Can't remember. Oh, Coops. Obviously, Coops was injured on Saturday or Friday night, so he was left out of the lineup on Saturday. But it's things like that when you just want to play as a hockey player, you just want to get out and play. It's the best time. David, you said it. It's the best job ever. So you want to get out, and you want to play your games, but you've got to go through all these practices, and this is probably the first week now that we've had a full week of practice available since before start of December. And that makes a big difference when you're playing all those games in December. Was it 13 games in 26 days. Well, taking one game out was cancelled because of the flight, but when you're playing all those games, there's not enough time for practice. You've got to give guys rest in between. So this is the first week that Adam and the boys have had of a full week of practice, and that hopefully will put them in good stead. For heading into this weekend against Sheffield and Manchester.
It was really good to see Goody there, and it's good to see him back in the lineup, and no doubt he will be putting everything into it to win the best prize in hockey. I'm not talking about the Elite League. I'm talking, of course, about the Player of the Month award, and we're going to now look at the Viewbridge Player of the Month award, and we're going to look at that now for December. Your nominees. We asked you to give us who you think should be the nominees for December, and you've come up with number 6, Jeff Baum. Number 12 is JJ Piconich. Number 15 is Bobo Carpenter. And our last nominee is number 20, P.O. Moran. The voting is already opened. You can get that on Twitter/X at AVFTB and cast your vote. Votes will be cast all the way till Sunday, and we'll hopefully present that after the game against the Manchester Storm. So, gentlemen,
you go first, buddy.
Knew somebody was going to do that. I'm going to go with P.O. I think through the month of December, I thought he was clutch. I thought he put in some really great shifts and really good goals. And we spoke to him there the other week, and the sort of determination in him is excellent. I really enjoyed the way that he's playing. Without the stats in front of me, though, I'm going to go with P.O. Moran. And because you did that, says you can go next.
It's all right. Listen, it's 4 decent players that you've got to choose from again. But this month, I'm going to go with Bobo for December. He scored. He's got a knack of scoring important goals. And December was the first month that, again, touch wood, that he's been injury-free. So he's got on a roll now. He's starting to play. He's starting to feel it. Scoring some big goals. And when you're talking about big goals, I'm talking about game winners. So, my player of the month for December 2024 is Bobo Carpenter.
Mr. Majumsey.
Yeah, very valid reasons there for Bobo. Says he scored it. Obviously, that brilliant short-handed goal with his mum and dad in attendance. Played very well the night before as well. Could have been a shout for man of the match in either of those games. Jeff Baum has been really, really quietly unassumingly good, and he started January very well as well. Good shout for the goaltenders through December as well. What did we win, Simon? Was it 8
we were 9-1, I think it was.
9-1. But for me, I'm with Paddy here. He led the team in scoring in December. He started January well, which doesn't count for this award, but Monsieur Pierre-Olivier Morin, AVFTB Player of the Month for December. I see there's probably already 500 votes coming from the Lone Star State there for number 6. Jeff Baum Sr. is organising
Probably funny what's happening there.
A phonathon, but yeah, just for me, PO, even there, he had a point. It's not on the game sheet there yet, but he had a point on the insurance goal, the empty netter on Friday night, and he came up with the opening goal. Lovely feed from Osty and across it, and one times it in the top corner, takes it really well. That line of with Bobo Carpenter, it's no coincidence that the two of them, Bobo and PO, are on the same shout for Player of the Month. But for me, just edging it. PO.
As I said, the votes are now open. You can go to Twitter/X at AVFTB and cast your vote on who you believe should be the Player of the Month for December. The Belfast Giants are still in touch at the top of the Elite League table with 3 points separating them from the Cardiff Devils and 2 games in hand over them. Well, that will play this weekend against Sheffield and against Manchester, because Cardiff themselves will be in Continental Cup action over this weekend. Yet it's going to be a curtailed final with the withdrawal of our old friends and past County Cup champions, the HC Arlan, leaving only Cardiff, Katowice, and Bruyère de Loup. Bruyère de Loup. What does that mean, David?
Sorry, I can't hear you breaking up there.
Bruyère de Loup.
Should I know?
No. It's the Wolf Burners. They're from Grenoble. They're in the battle for the tea tray in the Kyle Bond Arena this weekend. They're down to 3 teams to try to replace one to make it back up to 4. It sort of takes a shine off it, but it certainly gives Cardiff, Davy, a much easier route to winning that title.
Main says you could get a team from Ballybean that could compete better. That's, it's Cardiff's to lose for sure.
Yeah, it's fair play. You can only play what's in front of you, but league table wise, though, it says I'll come to you. And you're on mute, so I'll just highlight that before you come back in. We do play these 2 games in hand this weekend. Sheffield and Manchester, both at home. Win these 2 games, the Belfast Giants go top of the league table.
Yeah, but it's all eyes on Saturday. Sheffield Steelers is the one that we're all just concentrating on at the minute. We've obviously the last game played against Sheffield today. It wasn't our best one, so I think the boys will be ready to go on Saturday evening and getting, I don't like using the word revenge, but just trying to get those 2 points back against Sheffield this weekend. When they came into Belfast a few weeks ago, they were on the bit of a slippy road for a couple of weeks beforehand, and then it started to ramp up again. I've said this all season long. Sheffield are a top team. Greenfield is a really good goalie. They've got good defense, big boys on the back end. Tansy scoring goals for fun at the minute from defense as well. And the bottom line is we just concentrate on ourselves. If we can just basically take one period of time Saturday night, get off to a good start, which that's with an email last Tuesday or Wednesday that the 18th is nearly sold out last Tuesday or Wednesday. So I know it's very, very close to a complete sellout. The East End's in again. And we'll wait and see what pops up. But looking forward to it again on Saturday night, and we'll see what happens.
The Sheffield Steelers, obviously, this weekend past had an absolute thumping over the Five Flyers. We spoke about the Five Flyers before. They're still on 6 points. They've taken a thumping in Sheffield, but also over the course of the weekend, Sheffield lost. We don't know whether these injuries what they are, but Shudra Viano and I think Golod, who played really well in Belfast the other week, all withdrew from the game through injury. So we'll see if Sheffield could be coming in bashed up. We'll see how that plays out through the week. But it's one of those, Davy. It's the fact that if you're in, we see it ourselves. If you're in the battle for the league title and you lose some key players, it can have a real effect.
It can, but you have to play what's put in front of you, and we have to be at our very, very best to beat a very good Sheffield defence for a start. Good goaltending, good defence, and we talked about it in the Panthers games. We went to Panthers, lost a couple of games that will sit badly with us, and with a couple of results against Sheffield that'll sit badly with us. And there's guys, and that we talk about competitive juices. There's boys that will be sitting thinking about the first face-off, the first shift in this game, and they will be thinking about it all week. And it is best foot forward. We have to come ready to play. If we come out ready to play, expect fireworks.
Obviously, we only think about the next game, but the Manchester Storm coming in as well. They've obviously had their coaching changes in the last month or so, and they're still relishing towards the bottom half of the table, but not to be underestimated, really.
No, not at all. I mean, they're a decent team. They've had a couple of mixed results over the last few weeks, but they know where the net is as well when they're on their form. So. But as I said, Sunday doesn't matter right now. It's all about Saturday and all about the Steelers game. So it's all Adam will be concentrating on. It's going to be a tough game for sure.
Belfast against
just say it's about the Storm, 7 o'clock. It's obviously 4 p.m. Sunday.
That's my error on setting that up. Thanks, David. Belfast against Sheffield, 7 p.m. on Saturday. Belfast against Manchester, 4 p.m. on Sunday. The tickets are going quickly. Get yourself a ticket to that and get yourself down there. And if you can't, then join Stephen and whoever. I know it was Michael Owens in the last week, but he's been shooting it up on Belfast Giants TV. Any other business, boys?
Nope.
No? Is that it? Are we done? That's a quick show. Fantastic. You can get us on our socials at AVFTB on Twitter. You can get us on Facebook, kingdomofthegiants.com, and you send us an email. You can do all that sort of stuff. Send us a message. We really appreciate everybody who gets involved and gets in touch and sends us messages through the week or through the show. You can get us on X, Facebook, YouTube, and all your really good podcast providers. Big thanks to David Goodwin. Go on, says you're on to say something.
I bet you we can't beat that time next week.
I bet you we can't.
When is the Nottingham Glasgow game?
It's the 22nd of
January.
22nd of January, the elimination game.
Is that a one-off or two legs?
Yes, it's a one-off game, and then we have
where?
I think it's in Glasgow, isn't it?
I think it's Glasgow as a higher seed potentially. I'm not sure.
Still don't understand that how they've played more games than the team in the. It's just.
Well, in a Challenge Cup that involves 10 teams, but there's one group of 6 and one group of 4.
Yeah, but the team in the group of 4 has played 12 games.
It's in Nottingham.
So Nottingham get home advantage, having played less games. I don't get it. Somebody can explain it to me, but
probably a win percentage. Maybe is that what it is? Is that what it? But listen, if the league cared about the Challenge Cup, it wouldn't look like this.
1.3. Let's see, 1.3.
You do quick maths.
15. 1.3, 16 points. Yeah, win percentage possibly.
Win percentage, but yeah, like I say, if the Challenge Cup was being looked after, it would be 2 groups of 5. It's not. It's a group of 6 and a group of 4, and that's the starting point. There's a long.
I don't mind it. We're top. I don't mind.
That's true. But that's on the 22nd. Then, of course, I believe there's a selection process that then happens as to who we play with regards to the semi-final. And then, should we get through the semi-final, the Belfast Giants will host the Challenge Cup final. Big thanks to David Goodwin for coming and joining us. Big thanks to you boys as always. Thanks for putting together the vids as well, Davey. And that's it. 2 games this weekend, as we say. Saturday 7 p.m. the Sheffield Steelers, Sunday 4 p.m. the Manchester Storm. And wherever you are this weekend, we hope you enjoy your hockey. And we'll catch you here next time on A View from the Bridge.